So I have, to be quite honest with you, was aware of the possibility of this game happening for quite some time now. And let's just say this: Grambling has a friend that works in the that is has an awful lot of pull and influence in Las Vegas municipality affairs, and I do mean really big. So he was the primary reason that Grambling played there back in, I forgot what year that was, when they played against Tennessee State. That was the 90s, I believe. And he had a key role in a number. I think there was what UNLV, was it Howard? Who was it? Which team won that game in Las Vegas? It was an HBCU team that Howard beat somebody.
Howard. It was Howard because it was that was the year that Cam Newton. Yeah, that was the year Cam Newton's little brother was the quarterback.
Right. So, but there was another HBCU matchup that this person was responsible for. So, have been talking about this for quite some time, and I knew that it was a possibility. But the thing is that they never really indicated who the teams were. Now, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Bureau basically agreed to be one of the sponsors, in which, they committed $350,000 to the event. That's not the total, but that's, to kind of get things going. And once, there were some rumblings and rumors that were going around talking about the possibility of the two teams involved, which, again, I knew that too. But the delay was basically in just waiting for for it to become a done deal. And now it is a done deal. Now, here is something that some folks may not be aware of, and that this is not a game that is your traditional matchup in which, you've got the broker, or if you got the, the event organizer with a contract between Grambling and Jackson State. This game was actually negotiated between the Las Vegas Visitor and Conventions Bureau and the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So this game is an agreement between the folks in Vegas and the SWAC office, or Dr. Charles McClellan. So I'm told. So this will be a conference game. This game initially was supposed to be played in Jackson. It needs to be understood that Jackson will be considered the home team. And thus, as it relates to monies, this is not one of those things where each of the teams get paid the same amount. This is a home team. This is a home game for Jackson, as it would have been had Grambling played Jackson State in Jackson, in which, how it typically works, especially in conference and homes, is the home team gets the gate pretty much, and then the proceeds, and then the traveling team will pay the necessary expense to come play, and then the following year it's vice versa. The team that traveled to that will host it. They get the benefit of the gate. That's the one of the benefits of conference play, revenue sharing, supporting each other, and so forth. This is pretty much the same thing. So I say all that to say that, for what it's worth, it's not like, so Jackson State will get the majority of the gate. Okay. I don't know what the formula is. It's not that they won't get everything, but Jackson will get, will basically, in essence, Jackson State will receive more than Grambling because it is a home game for them. And this will basically help make up whatever revenue that they would have gotten in Jackson. The same thing applies to Grambling. The benefit to Grambling is that, yes, they get paid to make the trip, but whereas if this game had been in Jackson and Grambling travels to Jackson, Grambling is out whatever it costs to get to Jackson, as opposed to going to play this game in Las Vegas and not having to pay, or should I say, not having to lose any money as a result of playing in in Vegas. So when you put in consideration that you're giving these student athletes the experience of playing in an NFL venue located in Las Vegas, that's a win-win. School doesn't lose any money. Everybody wins. Thus, Grambling and Jackson State are playing in Vegas. So this isn't your traditional thing that I'm saying this because they were likely, I already saw some of the social media comments as to why they're playing. It's a big mistake, not necessarily knowing why, not knowing all the details and the specifics, but it needs to be understood that this is an agreement, as I understand it, is an agreement between the Conventions Bureau and the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Well, that definitely sheds some light on a very interesting, development here. And I think this is huge for both programs, because this is a chance for JSU and Grambling to be seen at a larger level. I mean, it doesn't get much larger than the Celebration Bowl and what Jackson State experienced, but Grambling, this is old hat for the Tigers. I mean, this is a school that once played a college football game in Japan, for crying out loud, during the Eddie Robinson days. They've played at Yankee Stadium. They've played in NFL stadiums before. So this is new to Grambling, and it's not necessarily new to Jackson State either, but I think these are the two best representatives from that conference to go represent the SWAC in Las Vegas, because these are two traditionally strong programs. When you think about Grambling with Doug Williams and Buck Buchanan and Ernie Ladd, and most recently guys like Bruce Eugene, folks like that. And then we take into account Jackson, who has Walter Payton, Jackie Slater, Robert Brazil, Dr. Doom. These folks, and more modern guys like Asias Guthrie and James Houston IV. These are the best two schools that the SWAC could have picked to broker this deal. And I think that's the smart move to send those two, because like it or not, they are the gold standard in the Southwestern Athletic Conference when it comes to football. So when you put those two teams on a flight to Las Vegas, you put them in that beautiful, I won't call it beautiful. We'll just call it big, because it honestly looks like a diaphragm on the outside, but it's still you're gonna get about 30 to 40,000 people just out of curiosity anyway. So you can't beat that deal. So that's a wonderful deal for Jackson and Grambling, and hopefully Mickey Joseph can hit the recruiting trail and make this a good game.
I actually had a chance to. Visit. I got a chance to see the Raiders play when I was there in January. It was the Raiders and Chargers, and it's actually a pretty nice venue. It's not a massive structure, but it's intimate, and it has a certain state of the art likeness to it. But I get it. It isn't it may not necessarily be suitable for some in their taste. But when you put in consideration the extremely, extremely hot summers, it is more than appropriate for how it should be utilized there in Vegas and so forth. One other thing too. And I think it was Mo Carter that put this out there about that particular week. That might be probably one of the better marquee weekends for HBCU football that we've seen sometime. I think he indicated that on that same day, October 25th, while Grambling was playing Jackson State, that same day, I think he stated that FAMU is going to be playing Southern. And that is also the same day as the Magic City Classic. So, that will be as it relates to rivalries and contests between traditional foes, that may be a pretty marquee weekend.
Yeah, Ken, I was going to ask, with this game being in Las Vegas, you think this is Vegas's dipping their toe in the water to get more Black House football games in the future, or is this a one-off thing?
Well, look, Vegas is being very strategic. Not only is this an attempt to get more HBCUs into Vegas, but keep in mind, and I posted a link to the story, but not only is Vegas trying to be a player in getting HBCUs to come to Vegas, is also trying to be a player in getting the college football playoffs there as well. So, it is Vegas. And they can flex a little bit. It's an attractive destination, but they definitely want to be a player in the college football playoff situation, And, haven't really heard anything about Super Bowls, but I can't imagine it not being a part of that scene at some point. Vegas has got a lot going on, man. The Oakland A's are going to be moving there. They've got a structure that's going to be built. I think that's supposed to be, done in like 26 or 27, but just a lot going on in Vegas right now. So if you're a Vegas, if you live in Vegas, there's some money coming in, more than what normally comes in. I'm just saying. So
I'm curious about the attendance. Like, I know Jackson State travels well everywhere they go. Do you think from the Grambling standpoint, will they have big numbers coming out to Vegas?
Big numbers in terms of attendance?
Yeah.
I can't imagine why they wouldn't. Grambling has a pretty nice size base in LA. And I'm from that area, and there already is a buzz. So I think that game is going to do very well, very well. We already know what J-State folks can do, but when you put in consideration the uniqueness of the venue, where it's located, and the proximity to Vegas, Phoenix, as well as Los Angeles, yeah, I think Chris said 35 to 40,000. I think that's a good solid number, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I mean, I wasn't around when Grambling played in Japan, but I mean,
I wasn't either. I mean, I wasn't either. I just did the research.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the comments. Someone's saying, "Do we know the financials?" And so someone's saying that each team gets $750,000 each. Each team will not be getting $750,000 each. I did indicate that this deal is one in which the payments are not going to be equal because Jackson State is going to be the home team. This is a conference game that typically was slated, or that originally was slated to be played in Jackson, in which Grambling was supposed to travel to Jackson. So much in the same fashion, Jackson will receive more than Grambling, as would normally be the case. The win for Grambling is that Grambling doesn't necessarily come out of pocket to make the trip, because when they make the trip to Vegas, it's a plus. They get paid, but they're not going to get paid the same amount as whatever Jackson's going to get. So I'm just saying now, Jackson's going to get more of the money, as they should, because they are the home team. That's not anything that's outrageous. It's not, because I'm saying some will probably say these people don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And, for Grambling, it's an opportunity for them not to have to spend the money to come out of the budget for the operating, because they still got to make another trip to Jackson when they play Alcorn later in the year. So that's a savings. So, no, each team does not get $750,000. I'm sure those details will come out later, but I will tell you that Jackson will get more than Grambling, and that is okay given the dynamics and how this all works.